Monday. I thought in the few minutes I have before work, I would come on here and just say, hey, work on this painting a little bit, and another one that I have. I don't know. I wanted to be live, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So here we are. I just know Mondays can be tough if you're returning to work, which I am. I had a really nice weekend, so I kind of want to keep that peaceful vibe going, and I'm working on ways to keep that peaceful vibe going. So yeah, just a reminder to you, if you are not looking forward to today, you don't have to look forward to it, and you can just accept where you are and accept that maybe it's not where you want to be ultimately. I think we have all felt that way. Okay, my glasses are steaming up. I just got out of the shower. It's not ideal. All right, so I am just filling in this moon a little more with some bleed proof white. It's a little bit, I like the way it's see-through, but I want it to be, some of this looks awkward, so I'm just doing another layer. It's kind of watered down. So every time I say so, well, back in the day, my husband used to say buttons, like sew buttons. Oh my gosh, it's so much hotter in here than I realized. I work in a sunroom that was added to our house, and it has no air conditioning, and it can just get very, very hot. That looks really bright, doesn't it? I'm gonna water that down a little bit. So I started making this painting thinking I would finish it and I would take it to Woolworth Walk in Asheville, where I have some art. And then it just was not feeling it. So I came up with a plan B and brought some other smaller paintings. And I don't know, I thought I'd see if I could get it to a place where I was happy with it. And you get to watch me try to figure that out, because I'm not really sure. Normally I do things in layers and cut and tear them. And maybe this one is destined for that same fate. I've been experimenting with what happens when I just create the layers right on the page rather than tearing and then doing the layers. I know I want to add stars here. Maybe I'll do that now. So I use bleed proof white and a toothbrush to make stars. I don't want the stars to be all over here, so I'm gonna just cover this area, which shouldn't be wet at this point, with just a very, very clean towel that I have. All right, so I'm going to grab some of this. Actually, I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna paint it on to my brush. Do boop boo da boop, and I think it needs a little water. If it's too thick, it won't go anywhere. You're not supposed to add water to bleed proof white, but I don't follow the rules, generally speaking, when it comes to painting. Okay, and then you just take the brush and you flick it. See? Ah, I have stars in my sky. And you can do more or less. Can you even see that? Here, let me remove the towel. I mean, you could do tons and tons of them. I actually think, since I have my brush loaded up, I have this other sky that I'm also working on that I may as well add stars to now. I need to do more, but I'll just add. And of course, you could do stars by hand, but I just really like the way this makes them seem like really random, like they are in the sky. Okay, we'll put that one back down. All right, let me return to this painting. I don't know what this painting needs, but it needs something. I don't really like the way that it is. I mean, it's obviously unfinished, but I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do to it. Okay, I got some stars on there. Good plan. Good job, Jen. Maybe that's a sign that I should add some white there. Or maybe I'll just go like this and see what happens. Nothing happens. Great. Okay. What wants to happen next? That's what I ask myself. I stand and I look and I wonder what wants to happen. This now, because I added this layer, is not, it doesn't stand out enough. So I think that's an area that I would like to work on. Do I want to make it gold? Maybe. That's an intriguing idea. Who knows? If I mess this up, I mess this up. This is just a chance for me to be creative before my workday starts, although I am lucky that I get to be creative in my job as well, but not creative like this. It's a different kind of creative. So I have my dropper of this, and I'm going to put some of it in my palette. And wow, that was a lot more than I wanted. Here, I'll show you what that looks like. And that is this, it's the same brand as this. This is an iridescent gold. I have to tell you the truth, I don't really know if you're supposed to like mix it. It's weird because it's like kind of gold there, but then it's like copper colored. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of mix it around in my palette and then see what happens if I turn this gold. I'm gonna have to get a better brush for that. And this is probably wet. This is wet, so I'm gonna be careful and not put my hand in it. I'm telling you that so I remember not to do it. So I used to always paint with acrylics, and when you paint with acrylics, it's easy to just paint over something that you don't like. But I switched to watercolors back around like 2018 maybe. And I love watercolors. This obviously is not a watercolor, what I'm putting on here. But one thing that's different about watercolors is that you can't paint over it as easily. I mean, if you're doing mixed media art, which I do a lot of, you can paint stuff over, but you kind of have to, like, you can mess something up to the point where that's it. You just have to kind of throw in the towel. And I have to say that I appreciate over the years, I've gotten pretty good at throwing away art. Because the point of making art is making art. You know what I mean? Like, if you have to throw it out, that's fine. That's part of the process. I guess I'm just gonna try to cover what I already did, but if it's taller and if I make it bigger, that's also okay with me. And I see I have to go back and fix that line. I couldn't quite tell. I just want all the layers to have contrast. And I know I will go back and add even more details because that's what I do. And I will keep working on it and working on it until either I'm like, yeah, this is how I want it to be, or I will just give up and I will throw this piece of paper away. Or maybe cut it into scraps and use it in smaller paintings. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways that I can use art that I'm not like doing what I originally intended with it. So what was I just gonna say? Oh, there was a painting that I was working on somewhat similar to this, but that was larger, and I was just working on it, and I kept changing the color of the mountains, despite what I just said about really not being able to paint over watercolors. And it finally got to a point where I was like, wow, I love this. And even my husband, I say it like that, my target audience is not, you know, middle-aged men. Even my husband was like, that's so cool. Like, my husband really liked it, and I felt really happy with it. So sometimes when you keep working on something, you know, it does get to that point where you're like, yeah, I'm glad I did that. And sometimes you're like, why did I do this? Sometimes I wish, like at work and in life, I often use Control-Z to undo something. Yes, even though I'm an artist, I'm a PC user. And I will sometimes so badly wish there was a Control-Z on live painting where I could just be like, undo. But unfortunately, there is not. I don't know that that made it better. It's still drying. I don't know. This needs something. Maybe I will get some markers out. I have 4 minutes. I have 4 minutes to do something. Maybe I'll just like, I don't know. I feel the pressure, even though there's like almost nobody here. I feel the pressure. I feel it. And hello. Hello. I'm recording.
Are you?
I am.
Where's Dad?
Where is Dad?
How long until I can have cookie bar?
I do not know the answer to that question.
I kind of want it for breakfast.
I think I am going to not encourage that.
Because then I'll be like, no.
No. No. Okay, that kind of made it interesting. But this needs more. This needs more. Oh, there's a lot more. There's a lot more that needs to be done. This is
Mom, you should see
Let's
my
call this
beautiful hair.
very much a work in progress. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful Monday. It's okay to not be where you want to be.